a bit of an overview about this particular collaboration.
Yeah, this is a wonderful collaboration for the Tampa Heights community and also for the homeless population and homeless families. Here at Metropolitan Ministries, we care for homeless families with prevention and safety net services, but also with residential programs. So we're at this beautiful new building that houses 52 families. And soon we're going to be bringing back on our emergency shelter as it's being renovated, and we'll have 99 families on this campus. Those 99 families represent close to 300 children that come out of a homeless situation through trauma and through pain and suffering. And what we believe in is education is the model to lead to self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency is what we're all about. Families live here temporarily, 6 to 12 months. And while they're here, we try to pour as many resources to these families as we possibly can so they can move back into the community. And we can't do that without vibrant early childhood education programs.
So Head Start obviously is that component with the early childhood education. The families that will benefit from this facility, are they families that are going to be here as residents, temporary residents, or will they be people in the community, maybe a combination of both? How does that work?
Yeah, it's truly a combination. We have families that have never been to Metropolitan Ministries that qualify for Head Start are in this program, as well as families that live here at Metropolitan Ministries are in this program. So it is a true community resource.
Now, having the two located at the same facility, what types of benefits come from that?
Well, truly there's great benefits in sharing of core competencies and sharing of resources. This has been, I believe, a true win-win for our community. Head Start has a facility where we've made this facility, it's been built with private donations. There hasn't been government dollars used to build this building and this housing. And we're providing this space at no cost to the county to come here and bring these programs here. And then our families that are here also get the benefit of either our own child care programs, which we call Promised Land here, or the county's program, Head Start. And so it's a great matching of programs and resources for a family that's been in crisis. And I'll just add that when we opened up the 52 units here back in August, we took 20 families off our wait list in a 2-day period. And those families came from sleeping in their cars, some were doubled up in unsafe situations, and some actually came to us from tents, sleeping in tents in our community. And so when a family comes and sees the housing that we're able to provide, the food programs, the education programs, but then they see that their children who have been in this kind of a traumatic scenario, they don't know where their food's coming from. They don't know if they're going to be safe tonight. To be in a safe and secure environment now, they're in an environment where learning can happen. And we know how much the impact to a child is early on in their development, in the development of their brain, if they don't have those educational interventions, reading and basic motor skills and safety. A lot of those things can't happen when you're in a tent, when you're sleeping in your car. And so the child development can just excel because of the support that we're getting with Head Start.
Now I want to ask about some numbers, but first you mentioned early childhood education, and obviously another benefit of that is having childcare so that you can work. Can you kind of bridge the correlation between homelessness and maybe some families' inability to find affordable childcare for their children so that they can work during the day?
So many critical success factors impact a family that's become homeless, and how do you become self-sufficient? And so, and many of our mothers that are here are victims of domestic violence, sexual abuse, or just pure abandonment. And so they've never had a chance to even get their high school diploma. And now, how do you break this cycle? So we believe education helps break that cycle. So we have on-site GED programs here and job training programs. And for many of the mothers, they would love to be able to do that, but who's going to care for their children? And sometimes in a family scenario, family units and community partners and friends and churches can care for your kids. But for a homeless family that's in a transient lifestyle, who's going to wrap their arms around these children and protect them and and educate them and let mom get a chance to get back on her feet. So the child care programs, it is education, but it is that child care that allows mom to get a break that she's never had. For many of our moms, they've never had this experience, and their kids have never been in an educational setting ever. And so this is what happens when they come here, is they get that chance to move forward. So I don't know how you break that cycle. To answer your question, how do you break the cycle? I don't know how you break it unless you have affordable childcare, and that's why I believe Head Start is such a critical program. And one of the things, with the federal shutdown, Head Start is being impacted across the nation, but not in Hillsborough County. Mike Merrill has stepped up and said we will not shut down our award-winning Head Start program. We will continue to find a way to fund it. So this program is open to them, and it's the leadership of the Hillsborough County team and the commissioners and others that said we're going to continue to invest in these children, even though the government shutdown has occurred.
You answered my next question before I even asked it, but on that note, of course I would love to talk to Mr. Merrill, but what is happening on that front that Hillsborough County is able to maintain the appropriate funding levels to keep it going?
I don't know the specifics of that. I do know that when the shutdown was coming, the county did do a release saying we are not going to let Head Start be impacted by that. So I don't know if they have shifted some budget dollars temporarily, and we'll be looking for reimbursements once the silliness ends and we get government back to doing what it should be doing, which is leading and caring and protecting its citizens. And so we hope that happens soon, but what we're seeing here is that it continues to move forward.
Now, last thing,